Hello, class. Welcome once again. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we looked at what the Windows desktop is, and as we all know, is the working area of the computer. And I hope you went through your various notes and video materials, and also did your quiz. Now, I just want to quickly talk about this. This is an email address I left here, sasante166 at outlook.com. This is where you send your quizzes to. What I noticed was some of you just posted a blank quiz back to me. Assuming you come to PDF, I just want to quickly take you through this before we start our main exercise for today. So you type in your name, your class, the date, then you come to do the assignment. Some of you just brought blank assignments to me, so I want you to really take note of that and do the right thing. So last week we looked at what Windows desktop is. Today we are going to see how we can add an icon on the desktop. So we'll be adding and removing an icon. I'm going to show you two ways. We'll be using Windows 10 throughout our lessons. So we'll be looking at how to do things in the Windows 10 sorry, in the Windows 10 environment. Now, to create an icon, I'm going to show you two ways to do this. The first is to right click a blank space on the desktop. So I right click, a menu appears. Anytime you see commands with arrows pointing to the right, it tells you they are sub menus. So what we need to do is to look for the new command. So as we have the new command here, there is an arrow which tells us it has a sub menu. So we move on to shortcut. We are creating an icon on the desktop. So you click on shortcut. Now you are asked, what item would you like to create a shortcut for? So now we have to, this wizard helps you to create shortcuts to locate or network programs, folder, computer, or internet. So it's telling you where you can um, uh, extract your shortcut or icon from. So we come to browse. You click on browse, then it brings you to browse for files and folder. So over here, all programs are stored in drive C. So I take this PC. Those using Windows 7 will see my computer. So you click on it, you go through the various files and drives. So we come to drive C. All files are stored in program files. So I click on program files, click on Cyberlink. Now there is a particular file I wanted to add on the desktop. So I come to Cyberlink, scroll down to Power Director 14, then look for its executable icon. So I scroll till I see screen recorder. So this is what I'm looking for. If you look on the desktop, we don't have anything like screen recorder here. So I take the screen recorder. It's a program I think I'll be using all the time. That is why I want its icon on the desktop. So I select it and say OK. Then I it brings you back here. You say next. Now I would like what would you like to name the shortcut? So over here it's only screen recorder. I want to add cyberlink. So I called it cyberlink screen recorder. You can, whichever program it is, you can give it a name um, that suits you. Maybe that name will make it easy for you to recognize that very program. So after putting in the name, you say finish. Now you will see the icon on the desktop. The icon is what I'm dragging now, cyberlink screen recorder. If I double click it, it will open the cyberlink screen recorder application. So this is how the interface really looks like. I'm not using it now, so I close it. Now this is one way to do this. So all these icons were here without cyberlink screen recorder. I just created this. Let's take note of that. Now assuming you don't know the location of the file, you need the Paint application. You are using Windows 10, you need the Paint applications shortcut on the desktop. When you come to the start menu, there is no way you get the Paint application and Notepad here. There's no way you get it in the list here. There is no Paint application and there's no Notepad application. So assuming you wanted to use the Paint application and it's not in the list, what do? Where we have the search here, you click on it. Assuming it is Paint application you want to create a shortcut for, you say Paint. You just type in Paint. You see Paint appears here. The next thing you have to do is to right click and say open file location. When you right click on Paint here, a menu appears. In the list of commands, take open file location. So I click on the file location and it brings me here. It gives me a window. Now Paint, I want Paint icon on the desktop. I right click on Paint. In the list of commands, I look for send to. Then what we have here, desktop, create shortcut. I click on it, then we have the Paint application right here. Assuming you want to add Notepad, what are you going to do? You come to where you can search for whichever application you want. You click, you type Notepad, then it is here. What do I have to do next? I right click, look for open file location, which is right here. Click on it. I have Notepad here. I need Notepad on my desktop. I right click on Notepad, then look for send to, then you move on to the sub menu. You look for desktop, so you are sending that icon to the desktop. So I click on desktop, then I have my Notepad application here. So I close this. In this very lesson, I created a cyberlink screen recorder, which is right here, and I created a Notepad which is right here, and I created a paint application, which is right here. Let's open the notepad and see if it works. I double click and I have my notepad right here. I say hi, hi class 4 pupils. So my notepad is working, and I close it. Do you want to save? Don't save. Let's see the paint application also. I double click the paint application I've created, then I have my paint application right here. I close it. So this is the first part of what we have to do today. We have created an icon on the desktop. How do we remove an icon on the desktop? Very simple. I'm going to show you several ways. Now, one is to select by moving the mouse on that particular icon and pressing the left mouse button. Now I have selected this very icon I want to remove. The next thing is to locate the delete key on the keyboard and press delete. That icon is gone. Another way is to right click on the icon I want to delete. So if I want to delete the WordPad icon, I right click. So this is the process for removing an icon. You right click on it. In the list of commands, look for delete. There's delete right here. You click on it, notepad is gone. There is paint application. You click on it, you press the delete key. So you can either press the delete key, or right click. In the list of commands, you choose delete. I hope this video helps you. If you have any challenge or question, my number is in the app. You call or you WhatsApp and I'll respond to you. Have a great week. Bye.